2020 presidential rally in Pittsburgh yesterday. We're going to show you some clips and get your response to Biden and what type of leader he would be. But Mika, boy, he hit the campaign trail yesterday and it was strong.
I was impressed. I was hopeful. He had a lot of energy, talked about rebuilding America's middle class, and he certainly did not shy away from taking on President Trump. Take a look.
Donald Trump is the only president who's decided not to represent the whole country. The president has his base. We need a president who works for all Americans. And we can afford this. We can do this. Folks, everybody knows who Donald Trump is. And I believe and hope they know who we are. We have to let them know who we are. We Democrats and we independents who have the same view have to choose hope over fear, unity over division, and maybe most importantly, truth over lies.
Ultimately talking about goodness. So still with us, we have former aide to the George W. Bush White House and State Departments, Elise Jordan, national affairs analyst for NBC News and MSNBC, John Heilemann, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist and associate editor for The Washington Post, Eugene Robinson, the president of the Council on Foreign Relations, Richard Haass, and joining the conversation, columnist at The Washington Examiner, Kristen Soltis Anderson, and NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent and host of KCDC on MSNBC, Casey Hunt is with us.
So Richard, you've spent a good bit of time through the years with Joe Biden. Talk about his foreign policy. What type of president, what type of commander-in-chief do we believe he would be?
Well, full disclosure, I first met then Senator Biden in 1974 when he was a relatively new member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and I was a young staffer. So I've known him now for almost half a century. And I would say, and I mean this as a compliment, as you expect from someone who works at the Council on Foreign Relations, he is a member of the foreign policy establishment. And he believes in American leadership. He believes in alliances. He believes in international institutions. I think he recognizes the importance of American predictability and reliability, and essentially looks at the last 40 or 50 years and goes, sure, we've made some mistakes, but on balance, this country's security, its prosperity, its values have been well served by American activity in the world, and the benefits of what we've derived from American leadership have far exceeded the costs. So whereas Donald Trump is a disruptor who doesn't buy into anything I've just said, I think Joe Biden would, for the most part, try to return the United States to what he would say is a more familiar, recognizable, and in his point of view, successful foreign policy.
Yeah, so John Heilemann, yesterday Joe Biden came out in Pittsburgh. He delivered a strong speech, strong message. He's had a lot of doubters. Also, a couple of polls came out yesterday that showed Barack Obama's vice president in a very commanding position, at least a very commanding poll position at the start of this race.
Yes, sir. It is the case. You know, we've been looking at Joe Biden in the months as the long run up to this announcement for him. He went through a lot of some very tough news cycles, some different controversies of varying degree of significance and legs, and now he's in the race. And that status they had previously, which was kind of the presumptive front runner, we now can say in a pretty clear way that he is the actual front runner.
And by the way, for people that are driving in their car right now, Joe Biden up at 36% in this poll. He jumped up 6 points. Yeah. Bernie Sanders down to 22%, down a couple of points. Elizabeth Warren next, down at 9%. Pete Buttigieg, 8%. Kamala Harris, 7%. Beto at 5%. And then Booker and Klobuchar at 3 and 2. And Willie, you've got another poll.
Right.
Yeah, there's a CNN poll I'll just sprinkle in, John, and then get it back to you. This is just across a new CNN SSRS poll just published this morning. has Joe Biden at 39%. The next, Bernie at 15%, up 24 points on the next person on the list. And John, that is a plus 11 from a month ago for Joe Biden.
And I don't want to. Neither want to downplay it or overhype it. I mean, the reality is that the reality of Biden as now being in the race. Is an important thing for a lot of people who probably had some doubts. There were people floating around wondering whether he would actually get in. It had taken a long time. And on top of that, most candidates who have the kind of national recognition that Biden has are going to get an announcement bump. That is the kind of traditional thing we see with a lot of candidates. So the question for Biden now is whether this is a high watermark, and we see that his performance is uneven. New controversies arise. He performs poorly in debates, and the whole thing slowly unravels, or whether he builds from here and builds up, which is just as likely a scenario. He starts, though, given where he is right now, in a commanding position, and it just puts the onus on him. The question is if he can build from here and go forward, he could be the front runner from pillar to post. But the question really is going to be performance and how those other candidates, not Bernie Sanders, who is a kind of a known commodity, we know what we're getting with him, but in that second tier of candidates, the Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Beto O'Rourke, Mayor Pete tier of candidates, does one of those candidates break away as we start to see them on the debate stage and they take Biden on directly, which many of them are going to have to do and I'm certain will do?
So, Kristen, with all the usual and appropriate caveats about how early it is, the fact that Joe Biden hasn't been in the race for a week yet, we haven't seen a debate yet, and we're many, many months away from a single vote being cast, Joe Biden has to be happy with the rollout 5-6 days into his campaign. The Morning Consult poll has him at 36%, the new CNN poll at 39%. But when you go into the crosstabs on this Morning Consult poll, you look at his lead among African-American voters, for example, he's up by 23 points, has a lead on Bernie Sanders there as well.
He's in a very strong, very commanding position. This is where you want to be when you are the former vice president of the United States and you've decided to run for president again. And so he's got to be very happy with where he is. I think the question is he going to be more like Mitt Romney or more like Jeb Bush? Let's think about the last two times we had one party having a very crowded primary field. In the 2012 election, you had Mitt Romney in that front runner seat who was able to just sort of hang on, even as underneath him there was a great deal of churn. Rick Santorum, Newt Gingrich, Michelle Bachmann, Herman Cain, everyone kind of having their moment in the sun, but Mitt Romney always hanging on to kind of enough to wind up being the guy at the end. On the other hand, in 2016, you had Jeb Bush in that kind of establishment frontrunner seat. But very quickly, it became evident that the party didn't want that the party wanted something very different, to go in a new direction. And so being the frontrunner was in some ways kind of a curse for him. It put him, he was the target at the beginning. So is Joe Biden the target at the beginning? Certainly he will be, but can he hang on like Mitt Romney or will he collapse like Jeb Bush? Remains to be seen.
And yet, Nika, Jeb Bush was a beloved and good governor of the state of Florida, but not so nationally. Joe Biden is a national figure and has been for almost 50 years.
I know. I don't want to sort of overstate or jump ahead, but I feel like, Joe Biden's time has come, and he fits into this pocket right now.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.